What is best in life?
To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentation of the women. It's a tough one.
I like Hard Times.
Hard Times.
Yeah.
I think my favourite one at the moment is the assassination of John Candy, just because it's still quite new, which means it's still loads of fun to play.
My favourite one probably goes between Hard Times, which is the one with kind of the inevitable suffering of life song. Burn the Village, which is kind of a almost overtly political song we've ever, or our only ever political song we've written, which is just about the tribal world we live in now.
They referenced the perceived assassination of John F. Candy. There was an incident.
What would the theory be behind John F. Candy's assassination?
It was a case of mistaken identity, and it was essentially a cardboard cutout rather than the man himself, so we were in the clear as it happened.
What is best in life?
I need to be so careful, because I don't want to... Oh man, this is so annoying. Is it kill your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentation of their women?
That's close enough. The fact that you know it is more than enough.
So I need to get it right.
Crush your enemies.
Crush your
see them driven before you, and hear the lamentation of the women.
This interview's over.
I don't actually mind doing that because I do a lot of... I think that'll be alright. Let's have a look at those 3 takes, I think that should be alright. And I didn't play that before going into the solo. I didn't play that too long, did I? I lost track of where I was on the...
No, I think we've got the legs for it right.
Cool.
Fuck my ass. And every time, it was the dab at the end of it, there were like 10 of them, and it was the dab at the end of every one that cracked me up. It was just this old guy.
I wonder if he's just got your dab on video.
Yeah, probably. Oh shit.
What is best in life?
I would probably say contentment. It's probably the best thing in life, being content with stuff. It's very hard to get to that point where you're actually content with everything that's going on.
Stay a while. Stay forever.
Red Dead 2, that game had me bawling my eyes out several points. Okay. And it's an incredible game. But Ocarina of Time, Resident Evil 4, nothing will make you shit yourself like the chainsaw guy. If you hear that chainsaw going, because you know it's one hit and you're dead, you're like, where is it?
It's difficult to choose. Fondest memories, Bubble Bobble, definitely. The music, doing your mate over for the power-ups, and yeah, everything. Bubble Bobble, definitely.
Ah, got me.
Why did you come to Deep Storm?
Adam. Yeah, Adam told us we were coming.
Well, mainly because King Witch was here, really good friends.
And really liked the sound of the album, and we had it and we really liked it. And I was like, we've been locked in our houses for like the last year, pretty much. So why not come up to, make it a holiday?
I don't think I could have enjoyed it more. It's been absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, it's a really nice place, really relaxed.
The drama, the thrills, the spills, the chills. What's not to like?
Is there anything you would like to see added to Deep Storm, if and when you do return?
Maybe a creepy girl ghost to come out of the well, which is another great feature, by the way.
Probably like a nice little hot tub just out there, so you can look out on the really hench cows.
Maybe a chauffeur to Aldi.
You are a big Aliens fan. Could you share some of your thoughts?
Some thoughts or all of the thoughts?
All of your thoughts.
And then from that point on, and then off it goes. And you notice how well it's shot. Sigourney Weaver, of course. It's the mum from Terminator 2. It's two more. Hicks. Oh, Jesus Christ!
A fatal error of timing, I'm afraid, team. And now it's time for you to leave us. Spellcasting. DISMISS.
Of all the names I could forget, Spunkmeyer.
And Dietrich.
Oh, the other lady.